Internet? It's January in Indiana, and it's not exactly the greatest of all riding conditions. It kind of warmed up this weekend a little bit, and so I thought I'd try to get in some riding, but honestly I don't know how long I'm really going to be able to do this, because rain's coming in, and it's like a fucking shit light mist rain right now, and yeah, so I may just not go anywhere with this thing. Honestly, the most concerning part was just trying to get out of my driveway, because it's all ice and slush, and I was worried about dropping the bike just trying to get out of the driveway. So here's a story of something that happened to me years ago that I thought was kind of funny, and I've shared it with other people and they thought it was kind of funny, so maybe it'll be worthy of content for a vlog. But my daughter was a toddler at the time, and we lived next door to these people that the best way to describe them is kind of white trash. Now, don't get me wrong, I don't think that I'm better than anybody else, and I certainly am not anyone who should be judging anybody else, but just to kind of paint the picture, you know, the girl, the wife was, I don't know, probably 250, 300 pounds or something like that, and white girl, and the skinny white guy who's kind of gangly and redneck was the husband. And they had 3 kids, and they were all, one was a baby, and then there was a toddler, and then the other one was a little bit older, and we lived next door to them, and so our kids used to play together, and they had invited us over for the boy, who was about my daughter's age at the time. Again, I don't remember whatever toddler age it was at the time, but so his name was Bubby, and again, I think that kind of further paints the picture. No offense to you people out there named Bubby, but let's face it, it's kind of a redneck name. So we get invited to Bubby's birthday party, the little boy, and they said they were going to have a clown and some relatives over, and they were going to do a little birthday party for this young man. And so we went over there, and they had family members that were over from various parts of either town or from out of state. And they had I think he was an uncle or something, I'm not sure, but he was a good old boy from Kentucky, and he was there. And then the husband had his sister over, and his sister, this was around the time where cell phones were kind of getting popular. I think it was flip phones at the time, but so it goes back a ways, and so cell phones were not, you know, something that everybody had at the time, and if you did have one, then you probably had a little bit more money than most folks. And so the sister of the guy that was having the birthday party for his son was over, and she had a cell phone, and it kept fucking ringing like every 15 minutes, and she would get up and go answer a call and walk off, you know, around the side of the house or whatever. The birthday party was out back in the backyard, so we're all sitting around on lawn chairs or whatever, drinking beer, and they had a clown. And the clown was there entertaining the kids and whatnot. And so the sister keeps getting these cell phone calls and excusing herself to go answer them frequently. So finally this good old boy from Kentucky, which I don't remember what his relationship really was to the family, but so he pipes up at one point and asks the girl, the sister, what she does for a living. And because he's interested because this phone keeps ringing. And she says, I'm in adult entertainment. And good old boy from Kentucky says, dog entertainment? And the entire fucking backyard, including the fucking clown, stopped. And everything went silent, and everybody kind of looked over at good old boy and the sister, and she had to repeat herself a little more clearly this time and say, "No, I'm in adult entertainment." And then he got it, but it was one of those moments in time where I wish I had a fucking camera and could have recorded that shit, because that's priceless. Dog entertainment. Now, on a subject of, I did a video about an accident that I had, and just to kind of talk a little bit about what happened after the accident, and I guess more specifically, should you hire an accident attorney if you get involved into an accident, whether it be a motorcycle accident or a car accident or what have you. And, it depends on the situation, I think. But for me, I had some kind of unique injuries and permanent injuries, and so everybody I talked to all basically said, yeah, you really need to have an accident attorney. And I wanted to just kind of take a second to say why you would do that, because I think a lot of people's perception is that, oh, if you hire an accident attorney, you're just, one of these lawsuit fucking happy people that's just trying to get a bunch of money for some, unfortunate thing that, it just happens. And so here's my advice for whatever the fuck it's worth. So here's why I think that, accident attorneys are a good thing. And in the case of my situation, a motorcycle accident, I had some permanent injury and some unique injuries, I guess. But it's not to sue the person that caused the accident and take away their house and everything else. It's the insurance is going to pay based on their insurance policy. So if the person has a $50,000 insurance policy, then that's all you're going to get is $50,000. Or if it's $100,000, then that's all you're going to get. But the purpose of an accident attorney is not to sue the person, but to negotiate the settlement with the insurance company and with the negotiate the medical bills with the healthcare providers. So you're not suing the person themselves, and they gotta lose their house and everything like that. But if you don't get an attorney, then you could be looking at, you're just negotiating with the insurance company themselves on a settlement where you may very well get screwed. Plus you're going to have to deal with the healthcare providers all on your own, pay the bills and do all that kind of stuff. So in my case, the attorney took care of dealing with all the medical bills, and they were fucking substantial because there was 3 surgeries, and it was quite expensive, I will say that. So the attorney negotiated all the medical bills down, which saved more money that I got back on a settlement, but also negotiated with the insurance company to get the highest amount of what they were going to pay back, as opposed if I just tried to deal with the insurance company myself, which that's what they definitely wanted to do. The insurance company was pressing me about, don't contact an attorney because that's just going to be more money that's going to go into the attorney's pocket that you won't get. And I don't think that that's true. And a lot of people that I talk to kind of said the same thing. So, who knows? Every situation is different, but I guess the point being is that I think that there's a perception out there if you hire an ambulance chasing accident attorney that you're just part of the problem with the society of today of going around suing everybody, and that's not the case. Now, you could, I guess, go to the attorney and tell them you want to sue the person for above whatever their policy limits were, and try to squeeze somebody that way. But pain and suffering is a hard thing to put a price tag on, and I am pretty confident that I can say having a ruptured testicle and a shattered wrist and significant loss of range of motion in my wrist, I suffered a fair amount of pain and suffering, but there again, I have no interest in trying to take this woman's house or anything else, and my main concern was to get the bike replaced and for the medical bills to be paid, and that happened. So I'm satisfied with what the attorney did. Yeah, I absolutely, I'm locked into kind of my career and my job here in Indiana, and but I gotta say, the older I get, the more I fucking hate the winter, and I hate the cold, and I almost go into clinical depression just not being able to ride. It really sucks. I see why people move to warmer places when they get older.